In chapter 226 of Jujutsu Kaisen, we saw Gojo bounce back in a big way. While he was challenged by Sukuna within his domain by using a reverse curse technique, Gojo was able to change the entire dynamic of the fight. He was able to flip the entire fight on his head by taking Sukuna's slashes, and instead of healing himself, we see that he decides to use a technique reversal red on Sukuna towards the end of this chapter. We get a lot in the way of how these two are going to stack up as this fight continues, but today I'd like to explore my theories for what's going to be happening in chapter 227. Chapter 227 will be coming out the week after next as Gege Akutami is taking a break. So to start this video, I'd like to tune into the rest of the fight. What do I think is going to happen? Well, we've seen these two go blow for blow in an absolutely phenomenal fight so far, and I think that either one or both of them will die. In my opinion, we're getting towards a spot now where we could certainly see both of them dying. I think because we've seen that they're so evenly matched, with one having the upper hand at any given time, I wouldn't be surprised if they both manage to land a killing blow on each other. It should also be noted the last, I believe, 6 Six Eyes users lost to the last 6 Ten Shadows users. And while there have been ties in the past between Six Eyes and Ten Shadows users, it seems to be that Ten Shadows users come out on top, which would at this point be Sukuna, as he has Megumi, who has the 10 Shadows technique. Now, do I necessarily think that Sukuna is going to be able to kill Gojo? No, I actually think this fight is going to end in a draw, as I previously said. And one of the big reasons for that is because of Kenjaku. He is such a wild card at this moment. We don't really know what he's up to, and we haven't seen him for a couple of chapters, and it's very concerning. Now, Kenjaku is scary for a number of reasons. He could infiltrate the Jujutsu High sort of system and essentially begin knocking players off that way, which could mean that Gojo would not be able to receive any help in any way from anybody if Kenjaku was able to launch an attack on the Jujutsu High or the Jujutsu High area where everyone, Yuji, Kashimo, Choso, Mei, everyone, Miwa, had to go and fight. That would obviously cause a number of issues. Now, do I think that that's going to happen? We'll have to wait and see. It's definitely on my mind for this specific volumes that are going to be coming up. He has said that he wants to end the anime within the year, or the manga within the year, my apologies. So that means that we're looking at only 20 something more chapters, which means that things need to start developing exceptionally quickly. Now, in terms of the next couple of chapters, I think we're going to continue to see the Sukuna fight, obviously see that play out a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the lead of sorts switch hands multiple times, with Gojo or Sukuna gaining an upper hand at any given time. I'm exceptionally interested to see what Sukuna does with the 10 Shadows Shikigami, as it's noted that he has much more control, or much better control over Shikigami than Megumi did, and I think that fight is really what is going to set the entire expectations for what happens with the rest of the story. As of right now, in my mind, there are 3 paths that we could go down. We go down the path where Sukuna gets killed by Gojo and Gojo is alive. That would be the most ideal path. I think that we see a happy ending when that happens, or if that one were to happen. I think, again, yeah, that's the most ideal path for our protagonist, for Yuji, for Megumi, you know, for everyone else. I think we could definitely see like Megumi die maybe because, you know, Gojo kills Sukuna when he's in his body. I'm not entirely sure how that would work out, but that's one option. In my opinion, another option that could happen is both of them dying, and I think that that could certainly happen at this point. I'm exceptionally interested to see what Akutami does. If that does happen, I think it really busts the entire story wide open. We would get to see a Kenjaku versus Yuji, you know, we get to see Hikari, Kashimo, other people like that. I think that would be really, really interesting if he killed both of them off, because they are both, you know, pillars of power within the world, and they're going against each other. And if you just knock 2 of the most powerful characters on both sides off, then it essentially resets the world back to zero. No one has an upper hand or a lower hand, and it would allow for some really great showdowns at the end. Although we would definitely miss Sukuna and we would definitely miss Gojo, and I don't know how exciting it would be if he does decide to take it in that direction. The third direction that we could go in, the most dark one, would be one where Gojo is killed by Sukuna. I think that if he dies in this fight, we are looking at a significantly darker future for the rest of this manga. I think that we would definitely not see that many people survive in the end. I think we would see, you know, it would be similar to what I said would happen with my Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 226 expectations and predictions. I don't think it would be very good for our protagonists, and I think that we would see the antagonists win out big time in the end, and it would just not be ideal. Now, I do want to say at this point that I believe there are going to be characters within this story that are going to play a massive role. You know, I went through that last time, but even more so now, I see Kashimo, I see Hikari, I see Yuji, I see all these players, Choso, potentially having an impact on the story and on this final fight and on these final couple of fights, and I really want to emphasize that. I think Mei could certainly have an impact. I think if Gojo is alive in the end and he fights Kenjaku, that would be exceptionally interesting. I don't really know how that would go down. I think Gojo would honestly probably be able to kill Kenjaku. Although it should be noted, you know, Kenjaku's a particularly smart character within this show or within this manga, so I think we definitely need to watch what he's doing. I really want to put emphasis on the fact that we don't know what he's doing. It makes him a much more scary character, and it's just adds a lot of questions for us to ask. Now, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I wanted to get this video out. You know, I'm on vacation, but I really wanted to get this out so I could start conversations in the comment section. You guys absolutely loved the last video that I made, dropping all sorts of comments. You know, some were critical, some were not, but hey, I'm happy for any comments. So if you guys, you know, have anything that you guys want to put down in the comments below, absolutely go for it. So my predictions for chapter 227, we're going to see a continuation of the Sukuna Gojo fight. I'm sure Sukuna is going to bite back with something. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Shikigami at this point, or him pull out, you know, probably not Maharaga, but you know, someone else that's like crazy. So that's my prediction for 227 and beyond. You know, I'm not entirely sure what's going to go down, but I'm sticking to say that there's going to be 3 main routes that Akutami could go down, and any one of them will be viable endgame for the manga as it wraps up the last 20 plus chapters or so. So there you guys have it. I really hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I hope to have some more videos out. Going to be putting out a Chainsaw Man video very soon. Very excited for that. So there we have it. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.